G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a bolt-action shotgun. This is a standalone Nif Bash weapon from the T6 Messenger. Let's take a quick look at this thing, see what we can identify. It looks like the grip here in the lower receiver here appear to be that of a radium rifle. We've got a double-barrel shotgun handguard on the front, and the bolt assembly and carrier appears to be that of a hunting rifle, as well as the barrel too. So yeah, and I think the magazine there, you can barely see it, but that kind of looks like an expanded pipe gun magazine, just increased in dimensions, so it looks like it'll actually hold a 12 gauge shotgun shell in there. But bolt action shotgun is an interesting concept because it takes a lot of dexterity to use these weapons, and when you've got a sniper, bolt action sniper, from all the way back, you're not constantly under threat or being shot at, so I'm guessing the action there might be a little bit easier to do, rather than, being in a close quarter situation where, you fumble around with the weapon, you could die. It's a lot of pressure. That's why they make pump action shotguns, because it's a lot easier just to pump the thing back, the grip back and forth, than it is to take your hand off the grip and then crank the bolt and put your hand back on the grip. So yeah, whether it's real life practicalities will get in the way of your enjoyment of the immersion of this mod, that's up to you, but I feel like that's kind of an interesting concept. Kylie here, she's cool as a cucumber. I think she'll be just fine. So right now, for the receivers, we've got the standard, and if you look here, and you might have to pay attention to the descriptions here, there's actually slug projectiles in here, which is kind of interesting, because if they decide to be receivers that are, I guess, a hit scan, then you've basically just got a reskinned hunting rifle that uses shotgun shells instead of 308s, which I think is quite interesting. Now, for this one, we're going to be utilizing the advanced receiver there, which will give us 388 damage, which for shotguns is actually quite good. But you got to remember that all of that damage is divided up between all its projectiles, which means them by themselves are going to get soaked up a lot by the enemy's armor. Not to mention we've got a 50% damage penalty on very hard, so we're not going to be getting anywhere near 400 when we use this thing. Maybe on a crit we'll breach 400, but yeah, that might be it might be a little bit flattering to what we'll actually have when we actually start shooting stuff. Right now, for the barrels, we've got a short barrel we can have a sword off. Don't ever do that. You'll basically be using a melee weapon at that point with a range stat that low. Suppressed barrel is pretty much the same, but you could potentially creep up to people and get some big sneak criticals there. But you're going to get detected as soon as you shoot something. So unless you're using a stealth boy, probably not super recommended. You've got a light barrel, which is good for increasing your range. That one appears to be just a condensed form of a hunting rifle, but the best barrel here, long barrel, you get the biggest range bonus and the biggest accuracy bonus, so there's no reason not to throw on that one. It only takes gun nut rank 1, which would probably say to you that this thing is probably not all that end game worthy, but looks like we've got gun nut rank 3 on this advanced receiver, so mixed messages there. Maybe the first 3 messages are saying one thing, and the next 3 won't be quite as accurate. Now, right now I've got a short stock, which will increase your rate of fire, but doesn't increase the stat. A full stock will give you superior recoil control, and a marksman, that's for steadying scopes when you're aiming. So potentially, if you want to use a scope with this thing, utilizing the 12 gauge slugs, then you can go ahead and do that, and you'll have no problem with scope sway. Now, for the magazines, the best one here, obviously, is the large quick eject magazine, although there's some other variants if you prefer the aesthetics, but performance reasons, we're going for that one. You can tell it's a combat shotgun because of that angle at the bottom of the magazine. And it's basically got the same sights as you would find a combat shotgun, with the addition of jury-rigging the 44 Magnum reflex sight, which is the large reflex sight, which kind of looks kind of cool, although that's just, is that just welded on, because I don't see any Picatinny rails there. That's interesting. Also a stock standard reflex sight is there if you want to see that one instead, and a range of scopes, including a short recon scope, which means you can put a giant microwave on this if you feel like it. That's kind of nice. I don't mind this thing using a scope on a slug variant, but for now we'll chuck on a large reflex sight with a circle. And for the muzzles, there's no suppressor options here. The only suppressor option is have the integrated suppressed barrel. These compensators and muzzle brakes will only reduce your accuracy and effectiveness at range, so don't recommend them. Again, it's a bolt action thing anyway, so recoil control is not really that much of a problem. And you've also got a legendary slot, which is a thing that I will not be utilizing. There's plenty of legendary versions of this, but let's go over to where to find some of these, eh? Alright, so this thing is injected to the level list available at level 1, but it's really easy to get. See, there's Vault 111 out there, and this is the place where supposedly Deacon watches you exit the vault and then stalks you around. You'll find a bunch of shotgun shells here, not too many, but enough to get you going. And there's a bolt action shotgun sitting on the ground for you just there. Convenient, right? Alright. Now let's move on to legendary variants. Next stop is right here in Far Harbor, where the Mariner is still not dead. Good on ya. Alright, Alan.
We doing business?
Yeah, you got...
Show me what you got.
Got your gun somewhere around here. There you go, big shot. So, here it does 50% more damage to animals and super mutants, extra damage and limb damage, that's violent. Has more recoil, reduced fire rate, and reload speed. And it's got the armor-piercing receiver, so it's a scoped slugged weapon. And there you go, there's one of them. Okay, so I've resurrected Cricket again because you've got something I need.
Think how damn good it'll feel.
I'm gonna kill her again when I've stopped recording, but you won't be able to see, so the cops couldn't fire me. Anyway, so what you are looking for here is the Hero Long Heater, which shoots an additional projectile, deals extra energy damage over time, sets target on fire for 15 points of damage, 20% chance to cripple the target's leg. That's really good for a shotgun. Reduce fire rate, reload speed, and extra damage to ghouls. And we'll be modifying this thing up a little bit because I'm not happy with it having 23 range and 15 accuracy. That's not good enough. I'll take that, thank you. How about one for the road? Fun fact, she has 0 in all of her special stats. She's actually useless. More useless than Useless Steve, and he was terribly useless. Okay, so the last one you'll find on Tinker Tom, but as you can tell, the railroad is not all alive all these days. So I've took some console commands, and he's not aggroed with me, but he won't want to buy, he doesn't want to sell from me either, so we'll just put him down again. And we'll do this with console commands instead. And now he's having a seizure. One more. Alright, so I've set up the console commands to make this regular old thing on the floor here a dead silence. Never mind, I got that wrong. Let me just change this for a second. 7A, please. There we go. And now it's relentless, but it's actually supposed to be dead silence, so increased damage after each consecutive hit on the target, refills your action points on a critical hit, 25% faster fire rate reload. Okay, that's the best one. Goes without saying that if you've already destroyed the railroad, then bad luck. The only way you're getting it is if you're doing console commands like me, but, you know, seeing as it's dead silence, I'm going to put a suppressor on this, I think, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so I've just quickly modified the versions that I got that were legendary. Big Shot has been turned into a slug sniper. Dead Silence has been renamed and changed into this. And the Hero Long Heater has got 0 range because it had the sawn-off barrel and I put a big muzzle brake on it. So therefore, if it's got 0 range, then it's got infinite range. So, whoops, that might be a little bit of an error. So interesting. We should be able to nail every single shot with this thing in VATS, which is great. But yeah, that's the 4 we're going to be rolling with. Okay, let's try this again. We'll take it from the top. I've never seen that. I guess that's why under normal circumstances they don't let you get ragdolled. Oh, nice. Thanks, Mysterious Stranger. That saves me taking another shot. And I don't know if... may as well. I don't know if that particular shot was a sneak critical. That's why I actually got the kill. Or rather, this thing is just badass and just crits everything. Now, with the damage, bypassing all the damage reduction... Oh, nice roll running, bro. Yeah, bypassing all that damage reduction and possibly resistance with a critical allows us to just run up and crit things and then get stuck on scenery. That's normal too. Very good. We'll keep doing that. Maybe at some stage we'll try to get some of these criticals back, but it looks like I got a Grim Reaper sprint. Yep, because I saw that crit bar fill up. This one, usually a baby gunner, so maybe we'll shoot him in the leg, take his kneecap out, maybe get a couple extra shots. Well, that was kind of worth it, I guess. Anyways, we got to worry about that that grenade launcher person, so that guy's got an AMR. Let's just take that out. Thank you. We forgot to rechamber, but don't worry, the game called us out on our bullcrap and then stopped me firing there when I wanted to. Now, which one of you bastards has the grenade launcher? If it's you... Actually, I'm going to get a sweet collateral here. Watch this. It's going to be awesome. Never mind. Oh, you're the grenade launcher lady. Well, first one will be a regular shot. Actually, no, you've got fisticuffs. Someone here is going to have that grenade launcher, so I'm just going to move back before I get ragdolled again. Maybe I potentially could utilize the dense chest piece mod instead of pneumatic, because stagger's not really that much of an issue. Especially when I can just switch viewpoints to immediately cancel the staggers, but things are going slightly better this time. Going up to these guys' faces and shooting them point blank in VATS is certainly satisfying, if not extremely effective. Alright, you're just a dude with a AR-50. That must be a service rifle. They go all out in those service rifle mods. And I quite like the attention to detail there. Okay, so it looks like we've had no encounters with the dreaded grenade launcher gunner. One more shot, please. Oh yeah. Wasn't gonna cancel out of that's that time. Had to watch the duration of that little one. Alright, alright. Who's got the grenade launcher? It's not any of these gunners. Still in caution, somehow. There we go. It's unfortunate we can't watch the heads explode in slow motion because the recoil pushes the muzzle right up to the ceiling. But so far, everything's been pretty effective. Although I've had to rely on a lot of VATS to get this damage, and there's the mysterious stranger again. Did the little corpse dance as she was going down. Very dramatic. Yeah, we've had very little issues, and I don't know if the leveled list shifted a little bit. That guy's got a shotgun as well. Is that a Sega? It is. Luckily for me, I got energy shields, so I don't have to worry about taking that full brunt to the 12 gauge shells, unlike that guy who took a decent headshot but wasn't enough to drop him. Alright, so we're done here in Gunners Plaza, and provided you don't go up with any ragdolling grenade launcher gunners, then I'd say you're in pretty good hands with this thing. Not a lot of shotgun mods that I've used can actually be regarded as being actually good in performance, but I think this is actually worth using, so there you go. Interesting, right? It's always the more unassuming mods that perform better. That's, you wonder why, right? Alright, so this time we're going to be utilizing Dead Silence and utilizing the Furious legendary effect here, which is not going to apply all at once. In fact, it's going to be every single shot we get is going to add that extra little 15% little bit of damage, but that's fine because we can fire this thing in VATS quite a lot, and hopefully with that in mind we can stack that damage on extremely quickly. Now that he is in range, Mr. Swan, we're just doing little bit by little bit extra damage, and wow, I must have disoriented him pretty badly there because he totally missed that hammer strike. And as soon as I get through this magazine here, I think I missed and reset the damage here. And let me just find this weapon again. Okay, we might have to reset the stacks. It's at 99, it's not too bad. Not too bad. We might just utilize this thing in VATS by itself, although now that he's sitting there, I've never been able to figure out exactly what cancels the Furious stacks, whether it's shooting at another target or if it's just a time that elapses between hitting targets. Let's go for a short shot here. Like, if you miss a shot, we'll try to encourage Kylie shooting by adding a critical. There we go. That's nice. This might be the only shotgun that you can get from this particular mod that could kill monsters like this. At least 1v1 solo type deal. But looks like we're in Nerd Rage now. We might not have to actually get... We actually hopped over that rock. He adjusted his aim that time, hit us right in the head. But unfortunately for him, he got stuck between a train carriage and we're able to stack furious damage until he fell. So I feel like that was pretty effective, and honestly, I feel like you get the point of this weapon. So yeah, just another really creative Nif Bash weapon using stuff that's already in the game and creating something that's quite new, and I've never seen a bolt action shotgun before. Whether these things exist in real life, I wouldn't say so. Although it must be said, utilizing a slug and scope on this thing just feels like using a hunting rifle, but it looks different. Whether it's aesthetically pleasing to you, that's totally your decision. But anyways, when this lobster goes bye-byes, this will be the end of the showcase. So if you're interested in seeing this weapon in your game, check out the link in the description. This one's ultra lightweight too, because again, all of the parts and everything are already included in the game. So basically the only thing that you have giving this mod any size is just the ESP, which has a few scripts embedded into it, which is like less than a megabyte. So, you know, nice and fun for really lightweight and basically no strain on your load order whatsoever. In fact, you could probably get this into a... You could probably convert this into a ESL, which will just not take up any slots on your load order at all. Anyways, that's about it for me. And again, this thing compatible with classic holstered weapons, as always. So, totally a varmint rifle there. Prove me wrong. Check it out. Links in the description. Highly recommend it. Thank you very much for watching.